Hi everybody, it's been a while. I've been really busy working on some projects, but I have been paying attention and listening to people and watching your posts and seeing the beautiful stuff that you guys create, especially with your Prismacolor pencils. I hear a lot of complaints. I read all the complaints. And I did notice some of you all have this handful of about 8 to 10 of your pencils that are so underused and underrated. And I don't know if it's because you're not sure what to do with those colors, or you're not sure how to blend those colors, or what those colors are great for, or what they work with. So I'm here to give you some quick tips on some of those colors. And today we're going to focus on one very specific color that I think is a lot of people's least favorite, which is this one. Hopefully you can see this. If not, you'll have to zoom in. If you don't know how to zoom in, simply squeeze and pinch like you would if you're zooming in and out of a photo. You could do that on your videos. Anyways, it's number PC1017, which is your clay rose. I'm going to show you a bunch of different blends for the clay rose color. And then I'm going to follow it up later on with some videos showing more uses for this color in particular. You're also going to notice that I'm going to use some of the other least favorite colors. And I hope this gives you some more versatile uses for these colors and extend your color palette and your color blending range with your Prismacolors. And I think you might find that your clay rose color gets used a lot more from here on out. Okay, so I'm going to get started, and I hope you enjoy this little informational video I have for you. So the first one we're going to do is up here, and the first three colors are 1017, 1085, and 997. Again, these are all Prismacolors. And what I like to use this color for, typically, it's just a simple 3-color blend. It's nothing fancy. We're just going to start on the outside and work your way in. And I do like to go a little heavy on the outside just because I'm going to blend this color. And I shade it in lighter. And the reason I go lighter towards the outside is because I'm going to pull these colors together. We're going to blend them. And I know it's really hard to tell my pressure in this video, but just know that I'm doing a heavy line on the outer edge, and then I'm going lighter, like a really light touch. You don't want to do so heavy that you're burnishing your paper. You still want to leave enough of the grain of the paper that you can blend your colors together. But you do want to get a heavy coat on that outer edge. Okay, just so you can see, I just put down a heavy to light coat here, nothing too extreme. And I'm going to move on to the next color, which is 1085. I can find my pencils here, which is this one, which is your peach beige, which is another one of the least favorites used. And I was going to mention it and slipped my mind for a second there. What I do use this 3-color blend for is my mushroom bases, my stems, and my skirts, and underneath your mushroom cap. And you'll see why when I'm finished doing this blend. And I will try to do a mushroom in the end of the video here. Hopefully it's not too long. So here we go. We're going to go towards the heavy line, and we're just going to do small circles. The reason why is because we're mixing these two colors now. So we're mixing the clay rose with this secondary color, and we're just pulling it outward. So the small circles actually blends these two colors into the grain of the paper. And as you're pulling it outward, you'll see the color will change. And I know a lot of you more advanced artists and colorists, you don't need to hear this, so you can put me on mute if you want. I won't be offended. But I know there are a lot of people out there that it's hard, especially if you're a beginner, to learn new techniques when some of the videos are so advanced. So now I'm just going out to a lighter shade and a lighter touch, and I'm still pulling some of that previous color outward. And I'm, again, just using really small, light circles. I'm just going over it and over it and over it. And that's the key here. You don't have to press hard. It's just a light touch. And you're just moving that color around, mixing the two colors together, basically, almost like you're painting. The Prismacolors are very soft, so you don't really have to apply a lot of pressure to get a good blend with these colors. And in the end, you'll get that nice burnished appearance with that final color because you will be putting a little bit more pressure in there. So don't worry too much when you're first putting down your first coat. And this is just, again, kind of a blending sheet, so you don't have to be perfect when you're doing this. You can get a little bit in your different directions to get into that grain of the paper a little bit more to smooth out your lines. You don't have to keep it in all one direction. And again, that does depend on how hefty the grain of the paper is. This is a 67-pound paper. It's 147 grain. It's a little toothy. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the third color, which is 997. And 997 is the beige. Again, another one of those colors that it's not used often. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go over to the clay rose, but I am going to come in just a little bit where I had the lighter of the second color. And I'm just going to go over it just a little bit. And I'm going outward in small circles, just to bring that lighter color out to the edge. And you'll see the color change on the paper gradually. Small circles. And once you get a nice light layer here, now what you want to do is work your way back, because you don't want to blend too much to take away your other two colors, but you want to just get a light coat over it. This is just your beginning layer. So kind of think of it like that. It's just the start. And that's what's key with Prismas is layers. Lots of light, easy, gentle layers. And the more you work with them, the better you'll get. You don't have to be heavy-handed to blend these colors. They do blend really easy. So as I've got that first layer down, now I'm going to go back to the very beginning where that clay rose is. And now you see why you wanted that heavier bit at the beginning, because you're going to do small circles and you're going to pull that into your lighter area. So I'm pulling forward into the lighter area and I'm just blending and blending and blending. Now I'm blending into the second area. So I've got that second color going here. You could probably still see some of the grain in my paper. And that's okay. This is just a swatch sheet or a blending sheet. Now I'm getting into the third color. I know a lot of you tend to run for that blending pencil or that white pencil. Remember, if you use that white pencil, you're going to change the color of this right away. That white's going to dull out the color because the white Prismacolor is very opaque. So it's going to change the color of this immediately. So if you want to tone this down, go ahead and grab your white pencil. But I don't suggest that that's the first thing you grab when you're blending your colors. So anyways, there you have it. So I've used the clay rose here, as you can see. And this is a great color to use for mushroom stems, mushroom skirts. But you can also use, instead of this yellowy color beige, you can switch it to your 20% French gray. You can even use your third color as the peachy beige. It's up to you on that third tone, how light you want to go or how dark you want to go. But that clay rose is such a great color. Don't dismiss it. So the next one we're going to do, again, is clay rose. We're going to start out, and the colors are 1017, 1019, 1018, and white. Now, white is optional in this one. Again, it is an optional color. I try not to use white as a blender unless I want to change my color format. And again, I'm just going to go on the outer edge here with a little bit of a heavier coat. I'm going to do some small circles and make a nice layer for blending. Nothing too exciting. But I've been so busy doing other projects around the house, getting stuff done this summer for winter, because winters here tend to be long and wet and rainy in the Pacific Northwest. So for all you who are on the West Coast that are not in California, I think our weather forecast, they said it's supposed to be a nice, wet, cold winter. So our next color is going to be rosy beige, another one of those least used colors in this palette that I'm using. And just so you know, the color that I'm creating right now is kind of an antique washed rose gold. It's not a rose gold like you would think for jewelry. It's more an antique rose gold that you would see as a patina on maybe a wood or a painted surface. But it's a very earthy, light color. It works really good for a lot of different areas. So here again, I'm using the edge of where I laid down the heavier coat of the first color, and I'm just pulling outward into my second color, mixing those two colors together, kind of going back and forth a little bit, because I'm using a light touch. I'm not, again, not doing a heavy coat, because you don't want to get so heavy that your hands are tired, and you want to have a seamless line there. You want to see a gradual color change. So you can see I'm just barely laying down some color here. And that's just going to lay the groundwork for the third color. As you get used to blending colors, you'll find your niche. Everybody has a way that they lay their colors down. And for me, I don't do it like everybody else does. I kind of go back and forth, back and forth. Okay, so we got enough of this second color down, I think. Should be good. Now our next color is 1018, which should be your pink rose. And I'm going to go in here and I'm gonna start just on the edge here. I'm not going all the way to the end. I'm just on the edge. And I'm going over my first two colors very lightly. I'm just applying just enough color just to mix these colors together. I know you're thinking, wow, why put so many colors over colors? Well, you'll see in the end why. This color change, it's dramatic, but it's not so dramatic. But it gives just enough change And here comes Gretel. She's got a sticker nose and everything. For those of you who have not met Gretel yet, she was my rescue kitten, and she's gotten really big, really mouthy, and really sassy. Typical Siamese. She's got to be up in everybody's business. She's over here on the edge of the table right now. So again, I'm just going to go back and forth here, blending these colors together. And you'll notice you can still see the grain of my paper, and that's fine. Doesn't have to be all filled in. Not at this point anyway. Again, and these are just blends, so I'm not worried about filling in the grain of that paper with this blending sheet. Okay, so I think that one's good now. What I like to do is take a look at this. Okay, it's not exactly where I want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back. I'm going to grab my second color, which is, again, 1019. I'm going to go in here, and I'm just going to put a little more of that in here, right? Just right on the edge. I want to mix some more of that clay rose out. So I'm just pulling that color outward a little bit more. I just want to get a really good blend here of these colors. Okay, I'm going to apply a little bit more of my third color here. And I am going a little bit heavier now with that final color. And I'm still doing small circles, and I'm pulling that color outward towards the lighter end. And now you'll start to see how that's changing from that darker to more of a pinkish, almost a rose gold color, but more of a patinaed rose gold. And I'm just going out and out. And you can still add a fourth color if you like a lighter deco pink. And now if you want to, you can add your white. I don't think I need to, but a lot of people like to use white. Now you're going to notice the color is going to change dramatically here once you apply this white color. The white is opaque. It's meant to change the color. I'm not necessarily a fan of using white as your blender, but in this instance, you can do it. It does work well because you are making kind of a patina color, which is a weather-worn color. So the white does work fairly well in this situation. So there you have it. So you got two fabulous colors blended out using one of the least favorite pencils, which is 1017, again, your clay rose. I want to skip down here a little bit, and I'm going to do this one right here. I don't want to get this video too long. I want to show you something with this one because I'm going to do some little animal cheeks for you, some little round circles. So bear with me while I do this and I show you. If you like to do animals or critters, hedgehogs, they have these little cute little cheeks. And there's so many different ways you can apply color for their cheeks. And rose or clay rose is a good one to use. So you just want to put a light layer down of your clay rose. Don't get too crazy with it. So I'm just doing two little circles to represent the two little cheeks. I know it seems silly, but you'll see when I'm finished here. Okay, and my next color is 1013, which is Had all my colors in order, but no. Where did that sucker go? Tell me I didn't misplace that already. Good Lord. 4. Oh my gosh. Really? Don't hate me too much. There it is. Okay, we got 1013 here. Sorry about that, which is your Deco Peach. So 1013, right over top that 1017. Just a light coat. We're just blending it outward. And you're just going to go right over it, mixing those two colors. And don't worry if it seems really dark right now. Don't stress that at all. And you'll see that lighter color, I'm kind of pulling it to the edge again. That's what you want. Okay. So I got 2 little imperfect circles here. Some light peach action. And we will go back over this a little bit. I try to make things simple so that everybody can understand. Nothing is worse when you're trying to learn how to do something and it's so complicated or you just can't hear or see what they're doing. Anyways, 927 is your next color, which is another lighter peach color. And we're just going to go right over them again. Again, light touches, small circles. I'm just blending right over the dark and the light that I previously laid down. It doesn't have to be perfect because nothing is even and perfect. I'm going right over this one, blending that lighter color to the outward area. Small circles. And don't worry on your practice sheets if you can see the grain of the paper. It's not really that serious. Okay, so you can see I got some cheek action there. So now you're going to take your white. This is a good time to use that white pencil. So you're going to come in here and now you can press down a little bit harder. You can mix all these colors together, giving a good blend here. Blending towards the outside. And you can see how those colors are coming together. And it's giving it more of a cheeky appearance. Animals are fun to do, especially when you got to do the fur. If you haven't done fur yet or you're afraid to do fur, fur's pretty easy to do when it's in a white straight line. So a lot of people use black or brown or grays. I didn't set my black aside, so we're going to use brown for whiskers. And then you can just come in here and put some whiskers in. A couple little whiskers, a couple little dots. Nothing too extreme. So that is a really easy way to do some cheeks on some animals and another way to use your clay rose. There are so many other ways to do cheeks using pinks, peaches and browns and grays and yellows. This is just a really easy way. It's a couple colors and you can get some cute little cheeks on your animals this way. Okay, the next one I'll do with you really quick is, we'll go with this one right here, 1017 again, which is your clay rose. So we'll start with a heavy outer coat here. Do some small light circles going outward. I can hear that kitten over here just clamoring away, driving me crazy. She just wants attention. She's just a little monster. She's not even really a true kitten anymore. She's a year. So 2 years old, she's full grown. Okay, so we've got our first color down. So our next one is 993. I know, who'd have thought? Clay rose and pink. So 993 is your hot pink. And we are going to do a light coat, doing small circles over that clay rose. This is great for florals, for roses. Again, it's just another blend using that clay rose that I think a lot of people don't think about. It's a good universal color, and it goes with a lot of your colors in your Prismacolor box. So it's just light, small circles. I don't want to get too crazy. That is a deep pink. And your next one is 929, which is just your regular pink. And I'm going to, again, go over this area with a really light coat, small circles. You don't want to push heavy because you will get that pink color. It's just repeating layers. And I do recommend you practice your blending like this so you could find the perfect blend that you need, especially if you're going to use your clay rose. Practice finding different blends. Don't be afraid to try different colors with different colors. Try purples, try grays, try your French grays. So as you can see here, I'm just going back and forth over the different colored clay rose and the different colored pink, which I'm getting just a light coating using small circles. Okay, now the next color is 1014, which is your Deco Pink. And I'm going to go over this, and this is your final color here. So I'm going to do a light blended color on the end. And I will go back over the whole entire thing with this color, blending all those colors together. This will pull that clay rose into this. Okay. And I am going to go a little bit heavier with my pressure now. And I'm still using small circles. I know it's hard to tell in the video, but I am. And I'm not sure if you can hear it over my yammering. This paper is really grainy. Should have probably used a different paper. Ugh. But no, I had to choose a heavy grain paper. I'm going to go the different direction just because this is such a heavy paper. So now you can really see the color change and it mixing together here. From dark to light. It's great for flower petals. It's great for seasonal change on flowers. And again, you've used that clay rose, and you can get a better blend on that line here than I did. But that gives you some more versatility with these colors. And it's just a great way to start using these colors. So a dear friend of mine She helped me out with this little pattern here from Canva. It's a site that allows you to use their prints for free, as long as you're not selling them or claiming them as your own. And this is from Canva. So I wanted to show you quickly those colors on a mushroom stem here, which again was the one we did at the very top. Hopefully you can see this and I'm not getting out of my little window, which is the 1017, 1085, and 997. So I'll go ahead and do this middle one here. And I'm going to start at the bottom. And where you're going to put your shadows or your darker shades is going to be anywhere that something is touching. And I know that can be hard for some people. Just think, wherever the sun can't get or wherever something is touching, there's likely going to be some shading or some shadowing because the light can't see that fine edge. So I'm going to apply, of course, at the bottom here, a good coat of this. Working my way up here. Again, I'm trying to do this quickly so I don't have a super long video for you. But I just wanted to show this color in particular, and I will show it again in another video. I want to do a neutral lip for you and showcase this color because it does a really pretty lip, especially for those of you who like to do portraits. It really will change the look of the lip and give you something different. Okay, so we got the first color, and the next one is 1085 again, which is your putty beige. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go over my clay rose. You can see I am applying a little bit more pressure here, and that is because I'm trying to hurry, but normally I wouldn't. I'd take my time on this. Because you don't have to rush with Prismacolors. You want to make your work look nice. But again, this is a practice sheet. So I'm not trying to do anything too impressive right now. I'm just trying to blend these colors to give you guys an example of what clay rose can do and to not be so afraid to incorporate that color into your palette. Because it is a pretty universal color. And I think you would be surprised what you can do with it. Okay. Okay, and that final color, which is 997, that I used before, which is the beige. Again, I'm just going over my previous colors. And you can use a different color in here. Like I said, you can go lighter, you can go darker. It's what you're after as far as your mushroom stem. If you want a more natural look, if you want a whimsical look. I just went for a more earthy look with this one, just to utilize that clay rose. And again, there's other colors that you can blend with this clay rose that work just as beautifully. You can see I'm doing some straight lines down. And the reason for that is I'm just pulling that clay rose. So it's going to give it kind of a, pull those lines up. Give it a more natural. Okay, so you have the stem here, which looks more like an earthy mushroom to me. Anyways, I appreciate you all watching, and I hope that I enlightened you and gave you some ideas and uses for that so underused color of clay rose in your Prismacolor pencil sets. I will be doing some more videos using that color coming hopefully this week. And I will be providing some more updates on some more of those top 8 underused pencils. Happy coloring and happy creating. Thank you for watching.